What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fires. Happy Captain America Brave New World ticket sale day. I hope you guys got your tickets when they went on sale this morning. I definitely got mine for early on Thursday the 13th, and I will definitely have my full breakdown, post-credit scene, all that good stuff up once I see the film in just under a month. In the meantime, today, we got a huge update for Avengers Secret Wars, and by extension, Avengers Doomsday. Now, if you've been following the news cycle lately, as far as what's going on with Doomsday, you'll know industry insider Daniel RPK, as we previously covered here at the channel, indicated that the script is not done. And of course, while that isn't the end of the world, because Marvel Studios always rewrites things and for quite some time while they're on set, it would be better if the script was done. Still, today he offered further insight with yet another update for what Marvel Studios' new plan is for Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday, and it includes completely resetting. They're not using any of the original plans they had for those films. We're going to break down the full update, what it exactly says and what it means for the plots of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. Stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this latest update comes from none other than industry insider Daniel RPK. You guys can follow him over on Twitter at RPK News. This was his latest Patreon update in a string of updates we've been covering about what's going on with Avengers 5 script, and this is what he said, quote, "I can confirm that the Russos completely scrapped Waldron's script and story. They're rewriting everything from scratch, which explains the delay." He then goes on to add, Daredevil will have only a minor role in Doomsday. So he's saying that basically whatever Michael Waldron had worked on as an extension of the story that they were working to set up, of course, during Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, but even more so that they were trying to set up there with Loki Season 2, something that Michael Waldron had a direct hand in. So whatever his stories and ideas were, they've all been erased. Now, this is a good thing, because whatever that idea was that we recently talked about, that impetus that made the Russos come together around McFeely's idea, with him calling him back at 7:30 in the morning saying, "I have the story we need to tell," means that they didn't need to be sort of working within the confines of what Marvel had already set up. Obviously, there was originally a plan there to use Kang, but that's clearly over and done with. And say that they didn't know that before they finished Loki Season 2. Go back and look at the timeline when they finished filming and then what happened with Jonathan Majors' legal troubles, but they actually gave themselves a pretty good off-ramp with how they left that show. There is no reason to reintroduce that character, with a recast or not, or have that storyline come back into play. You've had about as clean a break as you can have. You cast Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom to make everybody forget about Jonathan Majors' Kang in the first place. No sense in reopening that. Really, I think Marvel missed a huge opportunity where they should have just brought Jonathan Majors' Kang back, even if it's to lose to Dr. Doom, because they really would have scored points with a fan base that obviously wants him brought back. But all of that is completely behind us now. So going forward, I think it only made logical sense that they wouldn't use any of Michael Waldron's script. Now, you can start to speculate that maybe none of it was good enough, or that, you know, hey, they're not going to use any of those ideas because it was his work and not theirs. But really, Marvel is just trying to tell the best story possible. And I would argue that if there was something really good in Michael Waldron's original script, that of course they would draw from elements of that. I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Waldron isn't still consulting somewhat on Avengers Secret Wars. He's worked on so many of the projects, and during the Multiverse Saga, there may not be a better authority than this guy, the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness and helped consult on so many other projects. So I would guess he might still in some way be involved in the process, maybe listed as an early writer or something like a producer. But just because they're not using any details in his script, I think really more points to how solid an idea, the solidarity of the idea that McFeely is bringing to the table, and them wanting to focus on that, not try to tie up or working with any of the confines of a previous script. That would only complicate things and make things way harder, when really they have a complicated job enough already. You remember the quote from Jeff Loveness, the guy who wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and then eventually left Avengers 5 before Destin Daniel Cretton left the project as well. He said, "How in the world do you write this movie? It is actually impossible." He was being just candid on Twitter about the anxiety he felt for having to A, live up to Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, but also craft, you know, an impossible story where the expectations are just so high, where the speculation is through the roof about everything that could and couldn't happen. I could understand why there's some pressure there, but that's why I've said, honestly, it's all good. because if they didn't have a story, if they didn't have McFeely with this awesome idea that activated the Russos, that brought it all together, then we might be in trouble. And I would argue it's that special story, it's that spark that's sort of been missing from some of the projects recently. And if they can find that and then harness all of these characters they've spent the last half decade introducing, these old X-Men, these recasts, man, it's going to be bananas. And I think it's going to be all good. So while this is huge news that they definitely had to write the script from scratch, I think there were some, probably guys like me, who assumed that was happening anyway. Maybe it's a little shocking to hear it said in black and white, hey, the script's completely scrapped. But again, Michael Waldron may still be consulting on this in a producer capacity or one way or another. So if there are some good ideas they're going to get through. One thing I will say is that when we went through this the first time around with Infinity Wars, to some degree maybe more Avengers Endgame, but Infinity War, none of this stuff ever made newsworthy headlines and or videos on YouTube. No one was talking about the state of the script of Infinity War. The fandom hadn't reached that point. And so when Jeff Loveness talks about the impossibility of writing this, I think what he was more specifically pointing at was the fact that all of the eyes, all of the speculation, the way the fandom has grown for YouTube channels like mine and in our little corner of YouTube alone, there is just so much pressure on the person to perform in a way that maybe we haven't seen in the past, especially for the MCU, but really ever in history. And that's just the nature of social media and how much attention and fandom has been driven to that back part of the MCU and the inner workings of productions, which is now maybe half and half what we talk about here at the channel. It's like Easter eggs, breakdowns, theories, and then half of it is just the behind the scenes stuff, for better or for worse. And let's face it, over the last 2 or 3 years, maybe more times it's been for worse than for better. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below in reaction to any and all of this. I'm all ears as always, and let's get into the giveaway stuff quickly before I let you go. All right, still giving away PlayStations at the channel. If you haven't been entered to win already, no worries, it's super simple. Just hit the sub button and leave a comment, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Please guys, please remember that anybody can take a content creator's photo here on YouTube, anywhere on Instagram, anywhere, claim to be that content creator, and then ask you to hit them up on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. It's all a ruse to try to tell you you've won a prize that doesn't exist and then get you to pay for shipping. Couple of things to remember. Number one, don't share your information on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. I only communicate with people through my official email or my official Instagram. That's it. I'm not telling you to come find me on an app somewhere. Number two, no content creator is ever going to charge you for shipping if you win a prize. That's not how it works. Please be safe. Please be vigilant. If you should get a comment like that on YouTube, really anywhere, just report the comment directly to YouTube. They are really good about deleting those accounts. And then not only have you deleted that comment for everyone on this channel, but you've also deleted it everywhere across YouTube, and I thank you very much. My name's Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on every other platform with original music under the name All Fires. And hey, to those of you who have been checking out my music recently and letting me know that you like it, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. You are awesome. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.